And greetings, everybody. Welcome on this Friday afternoon to the Barton Gymnasium on the campus of Barton Community College in Great Bend. It's time for Hutchinson Community College women's basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. This afternoon, the Blue Dragons open up play in the Best Western Angus Inn Booster Club Classic here from Great Bend against the Murray State Aggies. I'm Steve Carpenter, Sports Information Director at Hutchinson Community College, filling in for Glenn Grenwald. He will rejoin you tomorrow here on the network as Hutchinson will take on NEO. But today, it is Murray State, a team that Hutchinson normally doesn't play. They have played 4 or 5 other times in series history. Hutchinson's won the last 4, the last meeting coming in 2015 in the sports arena. And over those 4 wins, Hutchinson has dominated that series in terms of margin of victory, winning by almost 25 points a game. But the Blue Dragons coming in off after 8 days off following a 107-32 season opening victory over the Bethany College JV on November 1st in the sports arena. The Blue Dragons shot 53.8%, forced 35 turnovers. And of those 35 turnovers, 25 were steals, and that tied for the 5th most steals in program history. A lot of good individual performances. A lot of people were talking about Milan Schimmel and her 19-point effort on 9 of 10 shooting. Then it was the bookend sophomore forwards of Jada Mickens and Dejanay Roebuck, who also had fine games. But now the Dragons really kind of get into the crux of their schedule. They will get a 1-1 Murray State team today, and then a 2-0 number 20 ranked NEO team tomorrow. Blue Dragons are the number 13 ranked team in the preseason poll of the NJCAA. They were picked second in the Jayhawk West behind Seward County, and the Blue Dragons so far have lived up to their preseason hype. A very entertaining 107-32 win over the Bethany JV. And we'll get into that as the game goes on. Murray State is 1-1. Interesting results for Murray State. On November 2nd, when they opened the season, they beat Mid-America Christian 104-59, and then last Tuesday lost to Collin County, a team out of Northeast Texas, 67-41. And in that game, it was a bit of a tough going for Murray State as they shot just 23.1% and were 3 of 22 from three-point range. So the Blue Dragons get really kind of an unknown factor in Murray State, but head coach John Angus, who is now 315-69 in his 12 years with the Blue Dragons, very weary of this team. Also cognizant of the fact that they don't want, the coaching staff doesn't want the players looking to head to NEO. And that NEO team, a fine ball team that a couple of years ago came into the sports arena, had a 16-point lead in the second half over Hutchinson before the Blue Dragons came back to win that game 65-61. We're about a little more than 6.5 minutes ahead of tip-off here. Both teams back in the locker rooms getting their final talks from their head coaches. And we will take a 1-minute break and return with more. This is Blue Dragon Basketball. And welcome back to the Cougar Gymnasium on the campus of Barton Community College in Great Bend, Kansas. Steve Carpenter with you, getting set for action in the Best Western Angus Inn-Cougar Booster Club Classic. This is the first of a 4-game road trip for Hutchinson. Of course, the sports are in the next couple of weeks, taken by other events, including the KCAC postseason volleyball tournament, which starts today, as well as the NJCA National Volleyball Tournament, beginning the second year of a 3-year run, beginning next Thursday. And all the luck to Region 6 Representative Seward County, as 16 of the best junior college volleyball teams come into Hutchinson next week for a chance to win a national championship that was won last year by a very impressive Miami-Dade team. Again, Hutchinson 1-0, a 107-32 win over the Bethany College JV 8 days ago. John Angus set this schedule on purpose. He wanted to get that game in under the belt and then really go to the tape and work on a lot of the little things that will, in the long run, make this team a lot better and a chance to regain conference and region championship status. A lot of people very high on this basketball team, and they have a very tough weekend this weekend with Murray State and NEO. And we'll talk a little bit more about NEO coming up at halftime. But Murray State coming in 1-1. The Aggies averaging 72.5 points per game, allowing 63.0 points per game. And they do have a very familiar player for Blue Dragon fans on their roster, Fama Geh, who was a freshman center last year with the Blue Dragons, transferred to Murray State this year. And a little bit earlier during pregame warm-ups, we saw head coach John Angus and Fama having a very lighthearted moment. Good to see. A lot of smiles between the two. So Fama now in Tishomingo, Oklahoma. That is the home of Murray State College. Let's get to the starting lineups. First for the Murray State Aggies, which will actually be the home team today. The starters are at one guard will be Tony Green. She is the team's leading scorer. Let me get back to their stats real quickly. My apologies. First game out, so computer running a little bit slow, but Tony Green's one starter. She is a 5'3" sophomore from Norman, Oklahoma. She'll be one guard. She's averaging 17 points per game. Madeline Giuseppe is a 5'10" sophomore from Ada, Oklahoma. She'll be at one forward. Hannah Wade is a starter. She's a 5'8" sophomore from Marlow, Oklahoma. And Aaliyah Ensley is the fourth starter, a 5'3" sophomore from Newcastle, Oklahoma. And the aforementioned Fama Geh will start at center. And if you remember, Fama out of Dakar, Senegal. The Blue Dragon starters look like this. Abby Ogle, the freshman from Baldwin City, Kansas. She had a nice outing, 13 points in her Blue Dragon debut. Milan Schimmel out of Pendleton, Oregon, a 5'9" sophomore, 19 points in her first game, 9 of 10 shooting. She'll be at the point. The third guard will be freshman Michaela Vanette, 5'6" freshman from St. Paul, Minnesota. Michaela averaging 8 points per game. The bookend forwards, we're so used to seeing them, Dejanay Roback and Jada Mickens. Dejanay, 5'11" sophomore from Olathe. She had 14 points in her first outing, and Jada Mickens, the team's leading scorer from 1 year ago, adds 17 points per game. Again, the Blue Dragons shot 53.8%, getting a lot of easy buckets early on turnovers. They outscored Bethany 35-10 in that opening quarter and really broke things open. So now the Blue Dragons wearing the reds today, getting announced. Milan Schimmel did a nice job on Dragon Talk with John Angus on Monday night. Found out a lot about her, including her sisters, both playing at University of Louisville. In fact, Shoney Schimble was an All-American at Louisville. A lot of fun stories on the team this year, including the return of Jamie Patrick as one of the assistants. Obviously, John Notches this year, but Jamie Patrick, who is still the team's second all-time leading scorer, back with the program this year as the fourth assistant coach. And before the game, I was actually looked down the roster, and I noticed a very familiar name, at least to me, in Nebraska Cornhusker fans, Jasmine Sincor, first-year assistant coach with the Aggies. Went down and talked to her for a little bit and did my best Matt Cody imitation on his famed three-point call, you betcha. She picked up right away. And she was very appreciative of the kind words, and we talked a little bit. But now we get set for Blue Dragon women's basketball. This is a team that, quite frankly, last year very disappointed in the finish. 27-7. They did go to the national tournament, but lost in the opening round in a shootout to Jones County. And the Blue Dragons are a very motivated team this year. We're about set to go. Alan Parsons Project, Cirrus blurring on the sound system, which for Blue Dragons, they're used to that. That's our starting lineup song. Your officials for this afternoon's game, throwing it up will be Tom Goldsmith, the veteran official. Neil Jeffrey and Dennis Dutton will be the others. And we're about set to go. Jada, Jada Mickens set to jump it up against Fama Geff. And Murray State controls the tip. We're underway. Thanks for joining us this afternoon for Blue Dragon Basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. With it out front is Ashley Ensley to go underneath. Backdoor cut and a score for Madison Giuseppe. So right away, the Blue Dragons get burned on the back door, and Hutchinson trails it 2-0. Murray State will come out in a matchup-type zone. Milan Schimmel in the front court, right side now to Ogle. Ogle goes down to the short quarter to Mickens. Wraparound pass outside to Vanette. She drives, tries to put up a shot, but gets it off to Mickens. Her shot off, no good, but last touch by the Aggies, and will stay with the Dragons with the new shot clock. Milan Schimmel to inbound it, baseline right side of the bucket. Waiting, now she goes way out top to Ogle. Ogle brings it right side to Vanette. Now on the right wing extended is Roebuck. Roebuck goes up top to Vanette. She drives, knocks a player down. Schimmel keeps it, 18 to shoot, shot short. Long rebound out to the Aggies. Giuseppe brings it up, working against Schimmel. Keeping the dribble, waiting. Ged comes out top, now goes high-low down, right back to Giuseppe, now into the corner, and Green. Green working against Mickens. Now here's a drive to the hoop, past Schimmel, shot no good. Milan clears the board and looks to run behind the back dribble. Here come the Dragons looking to tie it up. A minute 20 into this one. Here's Vanette with a left-handed drive and a foul on the floor. And it will be called against Tony Green. First foul of the game for either team. Dragons get a new shot clock and will inbounds baseline right side. Schimmel will pull the trigger. Throws out top to Michaela Vanette. Now Ogle with the top of the key. Ogle, reverse pass, now long two-pointer by Mickens. Her shot no good. Good hustle getting the offensive board by Roebuck, and now a drive to the hoop by Mickens, and she's called for the charge. Taking the charge was Giuseppe. So Murray State coming out, playing pretty tough defense in the first 2 minutes. 2-0 Murray State in the early going. Hesitation move. Now Giuseppe picks it up, gets it off to get to Ensley. Ensley now left corner to Giuseppe. She brings it back out top. Hands it off. Spin move into the lane. Now shot underneath. Shot blocked by Roebuck. Here come the Dragons to run. It's Vanette with the left hand. Takes it all the way to the hoop. High off the glass and scores, and we're tied at 2. Michaela Vanette. Gets the first Dragon points of the game. We're tied at 2. Here's a drive to the hoop by Giuseppe. Spin move in the lane. Now up another move. Picked up her dribble. In a little bit of trouble, and it's a 5 count. Nope, 3-second count. It'll be a turnover on the Aggies there first. Each team with a turnover now. John Onch's teams normally predicate themselves on very tough man defense, and they got it there. Once Giuseppe picked the ball up in the lane, she was pretty much cooked because the Dragons covered every outlet. Now Hutch looks for its first lead of the game. Way out front as Mickens get past right side to Schimmel. She drives the baseline, gets the ball knocked from behind, and she's called for the double dribble. Nice defensive play from behind by Madeline Giuseppe. Tipping the ball from behind, then forcing the double dribble by Milan. 7:13 and counting, first quarter, 2-2 the score. Both teams still kind of feeling each other out. Driving off a high screen is Ensley, being covered by Mickens. Ensley drives off another ball screen to the right side. The Dragons pitch. And nope, that's actually on the Blue Dragons. It'll be Jada Mickens, and she picks up her second. Called for fighting through the screen, so Jada Mickens in early foul trouble. And Ty Kimbrough, the redshirt sophomore from Memphis, checks in. She's got to play some serious minutes in the first half. Aggies with the ball. Ensley with the ball now top to get underneath. Pass knocked away and taken away by Ogle. Nice play by Abby. Second turnover for the Aggies. Ogle all the way to the hoop, and she's hammered on the way in and will shoot 2. The foul. Waiting to see who they called it. Could have been on a couple of players. And they give it to Famagé. Ashley Ogle misses her first free throw. Ashley had 13 points in the win over Bethany. She also had 5 steals and 7 rebounds. Second free throw good. And the Dragons have their first lead at 3-2. .6:35 and counting, first quarter. They're on an afternoon in Great Bend. Here's a drive to the hoop. And it's going to be an and one opportunity for Aaliyah Ensley. Tia Bradshaw is going to come in for Milan Schimmel. That foul goes against Schimmel. Free throw good by Ensley. And it's 5-3 Murray State. Strange results for Murray State in the early going. Here's Michaela Johnson all the way to the hoop, and she takes the wide open lane and scores. She has 4, and we're tied at 5, 6:10 to go. Now Ensley driving aggressively, pulls it back out against the Dragon double team. Picks up a dribble, now a wraparound pass underneath. Giuseppe gets cut off by Kimbrough. Now here's a drive into the hoop, a whistle, and a foul called. As just into the game, Hannah Wade cut to the hoop and took the pass. Foul will go against Nene Roebuck. That is 4 fouls on the Dragons, so Aggies shoot free throws the rest of the way. First free throw by Wade is good, and Murray State has a 6-5 lead. Second free throw also good. Aggies 3 for 3 from the stripe. Now a near steal. Bradshaw keeps it, dumps into the corner. It'll go right back out to Tia. Tia goes right side over to Michaela Vanette. Michaela surveys it, backs off. 10 to shoot now for the Dragons. Tough pass inside, and it's going to be a turnover and a foul called on Ty Kimbrough. But the turnover is going to be given to Michaela Vanette. A bad pass, and the tie at 6'4" was down at her ankles. So it will be 2 shots the rest of the way. 5:36 to go here in the opening quarter. And it's already 3 fouls on the Dragon bigs. First free throw is good. Madeline Giuseppe has 3. Haley Belvin into the game for Murray State. Giuseppe with one more. She knocks it down, and the Dragons trail by their biggest margin of the opening quarter, 9-5. Giuseppe now with 5. Roebuck keeps the dribble on the interchange. Now goes underneath to Kimbrough. She scores, and she's fouled. It will count. Nice two-man game between Nene Roebuck and Ty Kimbrough. The foul will be whistled against Aaliyah Ensley, her first. Now Ty Kimbrough. Ty had 7 rebounds and 8 points in that opening game against Bethany. She knocks down the free throw to complete the three-point play, and the Dragons back within 1 at 9-8, 5:20 to go in the first quarter. Backdoor cut underneath, wraparound pass outside. And here's a drive in the lane. Shot blocked by Kimbrough. Aggies come up with it underneath to Blevins. Now out to the corner, three-pointer on the way. Too strong, and Tia Bradshaw the rebound. That defensive stance set up by Kimbrough's block. Now a bounce pass underneath. Nene Roebuck can't handle it. Tied possession will stay with the Dragons and 20 to shoot. Tia Bradshaw to inbounds, baseline left side. Out to Vanette. Looks at a shot, fakes the drive, now brings it back out. Ball worked around, top to Ashley Ogle. Roebuck. Vanette right side with 11 to shoot. Waiting for cutters is Michaela. Hesitates, drives left side, kicks it left side now to Roebuck. She drives out to Vanette, wide open look at a 3, splash! Michaela Vanette has 7, her third three-pointer of the season, and the Dragons have an 11-9 lead. Now here's a drive in the lane. Could have been a double dribble, no call. Now a whistle and a foul on Abby Ogle. Dragons right now 4 of 7 from the field. Murray State just 2 of 6, but they're living at the free throw line, knocking down their 6th in a row. First one by Haley Blevins is good. There's a miss. Ty Kimbrough the rebound. So the Dragons have a 1-point lead in the ball with 4:18 to play opening quarter. Tia Bradshaw dribbles between the legs right side, now out top to Kimbrough. Kimbrough picked up her dribble. She gives it off left side to Aggie. Now a live pass underneath to Roebuck. Drive in and a foul from behind, and Nene's going to shoot a pair. Foul should go against on Grace Nascimento. And Dejanay Roebuck, a pair of free throws. First one no good. Dragons now 1 for 3 from the stripe. They were a 73% free throw shooting team a year ago. Check that, 2 for 4 from the line. Nene with one more, and she hits that one. Dragons lead at 12-10, 4:06 to go. Now a whistle. We get a substitution. And the substitution was disallowed because the ball was brought back into play. So Keely Tenney's going to have to wait to come into the next dead ball. Table did not buzzer in. Under 4 minutes to play, first quarter. Dragons with the 2-point. Here's a drive all the way to nice scoop shot. Too strong, though. Ty Kimbrough clears her second rebound. Now a foul from behind. A little over-aggressive. That's Bailey Bierce. Or check that. It's kind of hard reading those numbers. That's Tori Green picking up her second foul. So Murray State's leading scorer with 2 fouls. One of Hutchinson's top scorers in Jada Mickens sitting with 2. And it's going to be 2 shots the rest of the way for either team. Ty Kimbrough gets a pair. First free throw right on the mark. She has 4. Now Keely Tenney comes in. Milan Schimmel will also report in. Nene Roebuck, Abby Ogle will get a break. So the 5 on the floor for the Blue Dragons: Tia Bradshaw, Michaela Vanette, Ty Kimbrough, Milan Schimmel, and Keely Tenney. Ty second, spins out, no good. Offensive rebound, Tenney should go back up, and she's fouled on the way up and will get a pair. Dragons in that first game were also very aggressive to the offensive boards. Out of their 49 rebounds. So now Keely Tenney out of Auckland, New Zealand, hits the first. Checking back in for Murray State is Hannah Wade. 13-10 Hutch, 3:49 to go. Tenney to get one more. Perfect. 14-10, Dragons with their largest lead. Here's Kez Reeves driving all the way to the baseline, and she's actually Bailey Bierce drives the baseline, and she turns it over. Stepping on the line, third turnover for the Aggies. Now the Dragons look to extend a 5-point lead. Handoff to Schimmel, out top. Vanette now right side to Tenney. Tenney right back to Michaela. She drives a little floater in the lane, bounces twice but doesn't go in, and a foul on the rebound by Ty Kimbrough. That'll be her first. Check that second by my count. Up to have her for one. But his free throws on the other end. Murray State 6 of 8 from the line, just 2 of 7 from the field. First free throw is good by Hannah Wade. She's 3 for 3. Now a couple of the officials chatting. And it's just the fact that in women's basketball, you only go to 5 on the fouls before the scoreboard stops recording. That's all it was. Hannah Wade hits both. 15-12 Dragons with the ball. Bradshaw dribbles to the right wing extended. Looks to go inside underneath to Kimbrough. She loses the handle. Turnover number 4 for the Dragons. They only had 6 in the opener. Kez Reeves with it. Drives in the lane. Gets tied up by Bradshaw, but somehow the Aggies come away with it. A fake out of 3, not kicked into the corner. Shot on the way is good. Kez Reeves hits the jumper, and the Aggies are back within 1 at 15-14. Just under 3 minutes to play opening quarter. Again, Steve Carpenter with you from Great Bend on this Friday afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. 4 in a row now by the Aggies as the Dragons try to stop this mini run. Keely Tenney with the ball out front. Left side to Schimmel. Schimmel drives off a ball screen. Look to pull up. Now puts up a tough shot. Offensive rebound, Kimbrough, and she'll rattle it home. Ty has 6 off the offensive board. Dragons lead at 17-14. Kez Reeves to the right side, being guarded by Tia Bradshaw. Bradshaw will hand off to Wade. Well, tight interchanging. Ball stripped away by Bradshaw, and she comes up with it, gets it into Kimbrough's hands. Turnover number 4, but then the Dragons give it right back. Turnover number 5. 3-point attempt by the Aggies, no good, and a foul on the rebound. And Hannah Wade will pick up her first. So we'll go down to the other end and shoot free throws. Dragons now 6 of 10 from the line. Michaela Vanette will shoot a pair. 7 points for Vanette. First free throw rattles home. She has 8. Into the game for the first time is Michaela Johnson, the sophomore from Crowley, Texas, Louisiana Tech transfer. She gives Ty Kimbrough a break. Good minutes for Ty. 6 points in the early going. Michaela's second. This one short. Keely Tenney, the offensive rebound. She's got a pair of those. Now the Dragons look to go. And Bradshaw drives the lane, no good. Michaela Johnson gets the rebound. Back out to Bradshaw. Tia spots up a 3. That shot too strong. And chasing the rebound down in the far corner is Bailey Bierce. But she does let it go out of bounds before she grabs it. It will be Aggie ball. Now into the game for the first time for Hutchinson, giving Tia Bradshaw a break, is freshman Lauren Mapasua. She's out of Queensland, Australia. Dragons showing their usual man-to-man look. There's ball's loose, and it's going to go out of bounds. It should be Aggie ball, or Hutchinson ball. They say, though, it last touched by Mapasua, and they'll stay with the Aggies in 18 to shoot. Not sure about that one. 1:40 to play, Dragons by 4. Aggies inbound baseline left side into the corner, and Bierce behind the back dribble. She brings it back, working against Brannett. Goes down underneath to a wide open Madison Mapp, and she'll get fouled and draw 2 free throws. Michaela Johnson, the foul. So Madison Mapp, 5'11" freshman from Hilton, Oklahoma. She gets their first one to fall. 18-15 Dragons. Second shot no good. Michaela Johnson clears the rebound. Pushes it ahead to Vanette. End of the lane left hand. Dumps underneath to Tinney. Now back out top to Schimmel. Nice give and go with Johnson, and she scores on a great feed from Milan Schimmel. And the Dragons lead it 20-15. Johnson's first 2 points. Shot underneath by Mapp, no good. Ball knocked loose. Good hustle by Johnson getting to it, but she can't corral it. The Aggies keep it with 1:04 to play. Now a stoppage by the referees. They're going to reset the shot clock. So actually go as a turnover against Johnson. They said she completed possession and then turned it back over to the Aggies, thus the subsequent shot clock. Actually, no, because nobody had possession of it. So neither team had possession, so do not give Michaela the rebound. They should have held on to the shot clock. That's what they should have done. Nope, that's exactly what they're saying. They said Michaela had control of the ball, so it does go as a turnover. John Onchus somewhat incredulous to that call. Now the Aggies with the ball, 1 minute to play, opening quarter. There's a drive by Ensley. She loses control, and it's a turnover against Ensley. 5th turnover for the Aggies. Each team has 5 turnovers. That was the 6th turnover by Murray State. Mapasua dribbles right side, hands off to Schimmel. Now left side Vanette. Keely Tinney with it, dribbling, looking for a screen from Johnson. Dribbles high, crosses over, loses control. Ball still loose. And here come the Aggies after the Dragon. Turnover, 34 seconds left. Ensley with the ball out front, drives to the right side, tries to cross over. Good defense by Schimmel, and it's a travel called on Haley Belvin. Nene Roebuck's going to return to the lineup, as well as Abby Ogle, as well as Tia Bradshaw. Keely Tinney, Lauren Mapasua, and Milan Schimmel will come out. And they're going to make sure Tia Bradshaw checks in correctly. It's something we get after at our place about players. We have such a long table. Excuse me, sometimes it's hard to come all the way down to the X. Shot clock off. Dragons can hold for the last possession, up 5. Tia Bradshaw keeping the dribble deep in the backcourt, being worked on by Ali Ensley. Now a ball screen. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Here's Roebuck. Hesitation move, shot. Oh, go in with the second to go. Nene hits the front end and it goes in. And that is the end of the first quarter, with Hutchinson leading it 22-15. So a slow start by the Dragons. But they recover, and Hutchinson leads it after one quarter, 22-15. You're listening to Blue Dragon Basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Welcome back to the Barton Gym. As Glenn Grunwald calls it, the house on the hill. Hutchinson leads Murray State 22-15 after one quarter in this first game of the Best Western Angus Inn Booster Club Classic. Blue Dragons hit 7 of 15 shots in the opening quarter, 46.7%. Murray State just 3 of 10. Dragons 1 of 2 from 3, the only 3 made. Michaela Vanette 7 of 12 from the line for Hutchinson. Murray State 0 for 1 from the three-point range, and 9 of 12 in the first from the free throw line. Dragons with a big 14-5 rebounding advantage. 6 turnovers for each team. Michaela Vanette with 8, and Ty Kimbrough with 6 leading scorers for the Blue Dragons. Now the Aggies have first possession, second quarter. The drive to the lane, and it's good. Aaliyah Ensley gets around Abby Ogle and takes it to left hand to score. Dragon lead cut to 5 at 22-17. Sarah Kramer into the game for the first time. Tia Bradshaw, right corner, comes back out top to Kramer, and now left side. Whirl worked around to Ogle. Ogle drives the baseline, hesitates, drives, and will see where the foul. Bounds near the bench. Lon Schimmel will come in for Abby Ogle. The Dragons owning the board, but right now just have a 5-point lead, and the Aggies can cut into it with this possession. Ensley, skip pass into the left corner to Giuseppe. Tough pass underneath. Matt can't handle it. She can't believe the call. That was a tough pass from Giuseppe. 7 turnovers now for the Aggies. Tia Bradshaw running the point this trip. Out top to Roebuck. Now between the circles, Johnson. Kramer comes out to get it. Underneath to Nene Roebuck. She gets the fall. She scores, and it counts. On a feed from Sarah Kramer. And the foul will go against Madison Giuseppe. Nene now with 5 and a chance at an and 1. It's at 24-17. Make it 25-17. Dragons with their largest lead, 8:42 to play, second quarter. Coming up at halftime, we're going to talk with Blue Dragon Assistant Athletic Director Steve Kappenman. We'll have a variety of topics to discuss. There's a hesitation move by Way. Takes it. Shot blocked by Roebuck. Now the Dragons look to run. Here's Bradshaw. Right side to Schimmel. All the way, and she scores. Timeout Murray State as the Dragons get the running game going. Nene Roebuck, the block on one end, and the finish on the other by Milan Schimmel. 27-17 to score. Murray State takes a full timeout. We'll take it with them. This is Blue Dragon basketball. Blue Dragons start out 3 of 4 to start the second half, and now we're shooting better than 52%, 10 of 19. And that was a great play just before the timeout. The shot blocked by Nene Roebuck. Tia Bradshaw running the floor, and the finish by Milan Schimmel. And the Drags have opened up their largest lead, 27-17. Nene Roebuck and Michaela Vanette with 8 each. Ty Kimbrough with 6. And all the while, sitting on the bench is Jada Mickens, who picked up 2 early fouls. Another aggressive drive. Shot no good. Good defense by the Dragons. Coming away with it is Tia Bradshaw. Bradshaw's going to go coast to coast and score. Tia with an aggressive nature to her. Takes the rebound, splits the defense, and scores to make it 29-17. Bradshaw's first 2 points of the game. Dragons by 12. Another deflected pass, but into the hands. Wild shot put up by Inslee, no good, and the Dragons clear the board. Kramer pushes it far side. Now she'll slow it down and look. Johnson out top. Thought about a three a couple times, but passed it up to get it back to Sarah Kramer. Now Schimmel comes out to get it right side to Roebuck extended. And cutting the lane is Sarah Kramer. She almost gets knocked down, and Johnson misses the shot. Not sure why there wasn't a foul call there. So Murray State catches a break, not giving up a deuce on that one. Inslee drives to the baseline, gets cut off double teams, get past right side. Reeves a three-pointer and swishes it. Hannah Wade now with 7. Murray State's first three-pointer, and the Dragons lead cut to 29. 27 minutes to play in the opening half. Schimmel. The Dragons work the high weave. Ball right side extended to Bradshaw. Skip past left side to Sarah Kramer. Sarah gives it back out to Bradshaw. Now right side, Schimmel. They want to go two-man game with Johnson to get it into her. Back out to Schimmel. Her pass is taken away by the Aggies. It's Madison Giuseppe, and Sarah Kramer comes in and steals it away. Tia Bradshaw has the wherewithal to stay in bounds, and now she pushes it. Live pass into Roebuck. Spin moves. Left-handed shot off the back iron. No good. So fast and furious action. The only thing the Dragons didn't do there was finish and get a bucket. Possible travel no call. Skip past left side out to Giuseppe. She falls down with the dribble. Nene Roebuck ties her up, and it'll go to the Dragons. Wholesale substitutions for Hutchinson: Ty Kimbrough, Michaela Vanette, and Abby Ogle. Good minutes for Michaela Johnson, Milan Schimmel, and Sarah Kramer. 29-20 the score. Hutch with the lead, 6:09 to go in the ball. Also, Laura Mapasua also into the game. Outside of Nene Roebuck, all new lineup for Hutchinson. Backdoor cut Vanette. She goes up the left hand, no good. Shot altered by Fama Geth, who gets the rebound for the Aggies. Pushed ahead all the way to the hoop. She can't get the shot to fall. Offensive rebound by Roebuck, no good. Ogle gets the rebound. She can't finish, and the ball goes out of bounds. Giuseppe drives, spin move in the lane, puts up a little left-handed floater that Nene Roebuck corrals. Now she pushes it herself. Roebuck to Ogle, running the floor. Layup good, and she's fouled. This team somewhat reminiscent of the 2013-2014 teams that love to get out and run. The foul on Fama Geth, her second. And a chance at an and one opportunity for Abby Ogle. Abby with 3 in the game. Free throw, yes. 34-20, the Dragons' largest lead with 5:10 to play. Aggies looking to slow it up a little bit and get into the half court. Wade, spin move into the lane. High floater, no good. Mapasua the rebound. Dragons look to run. Mapasua slows it up, surveys the floor, takes it to the right side out top. Here's a three-pointer by Nene Roebuck. Rattles about a quarter of the way down and comes back out. Back come the Aggies, sprinting up the floor. Nascimento with it. Backdoor cut. But losing the handle on it is Hannah Wade. It'll be another Aggie turnover. Turnover number 10. Dragons look to extend a 14-point lead here. Vanette out top. Abby Ogle between the circles. Now left side free throw lane extended is Nene Roebuck. High post, Kimbrough. She gives it off to Mapasua, who goes left hand. Backdoor cut by Ogle, but it's kicked by an Aggie player. And will stay with Hutchinson, and they'll reset the shot clock to 15. And they've gotten down to 6. Blue Dragon men in action against Spring Creek Academy here at 3 o'clock. Rusty Hills will join me with that call. And that game will be on BW Radio as well. Three-pointer by Roebuck. She knocks it down. Nene has 11. And the Dragons lead at 37-20 with 4 minutes to play. Hesitation move by Nascimento, taken away by Van Nett, turnover number 11. Van Nett gets double teams, tries to bounce pass underneath, but taking it away are the Aggies. All the way left-handed to the hoop is Tori Green. But they say Lauren Mapasua gets a little bit of her. A little bit more than the ball. She'll pick up her first foul. And Tori Green, 17 points per game, hasn't scored yet until not yet. Misses the free throw. Keely Tenney will check in for Nene Roebuck. One more for Tony Green. And she rattles that one home. Her first point of the game, cuts the Dragon lead 37-21, 3:45 to go here in the second quarter. Dragons with the ball. Abby Ogle throws underneath to Mapasua. Little reverse layup, no good. Ty Kimbrough the rebound. Ball didn't touch. Now Van Nett a three. No good. Kimbrough the rebound. She can't finish. Gets it back, puts it up. Rattles off the iron twice. And finally the Aggies come away with the Dragons owning the boards. There's a drive to the hoop by Ensley. And she's fouled by Kimbrough. Ty needs to keep her head about her a little bit. In fact, John Ont just telling her just that. Kimbrough picks up her second foul. And it's 2 free throws for Leah Ensley. Rattles home. Ensley now is 6 as Michaela Johnson will replace Ty Kimbrough. So Kimbrough and Jada Mickens both with 2 fouls each. Kelsey Brett checks in for the first time, replacing Abby Ogle. Kelsey, the sophomore from Adelaide, South Australia. Second free throw by Ensley, good. She has 7. And the Dragon lead 37-22 with 3 and change to go in the second quarter. Now top Brett, left side extended is Tenney. Nearly gets it taken away, but she recovers. Michaela comes out to, Granette comes out to help her. Ball worker on the right side to Brett. Looks to drive the baseline, pulls it back out top. Lauren Mapasua tries a 3. Her shot off the front iron, no good. Keely Tenney can't chase it down, and the ball goes over to the Aggies. Number 13, Hutchinson, will take on number 20, Neo, tomorrow. 1 p.m. Glenn Grunwald will have the call here on the network. Skip pass, left side, and a drive by Lindsey Smith. Kicked out front to Haley Belvin. She puts a shot up in the lane, no good. Michaela Johnson clears the board. Right now the Dragons out rebounding Murray State 22-14. Foul call on the other end against the Murray State Aggies. And it will be Andres Nascimento with the foul. 4th team foul. So the Dragons are shooting the rest of the way. Hutch just with 2 fouls in this quarter. Van Nett takes the inbounds. Backs off a little bit. Brett, now between the circles, Mapasua left side to Keely Tenney. Tenney. Mapasua tries a 3. Another front iron, no good. Offensive rebound, shot up and good by Keely Tenney. Michaela Johnson tipped it into Tenney's hands, and Keely finishes. She has 4. Dragons by 16, 39-23. Spin move in the lane. Shot blocked by Mapasua. She didn't foul this time. Pushes it ahead to Brett, who's ahead of the defense. Left-handed layup, good. Kelsey Brett makes it 41-23 as the Dragons getting that running game going here in the second quarter. They've scored now 21 points here in the second stanza. Driving off a screen is Lindsey Smith to the right side. Backdoor cut, stolen away by Kelsey Brett. Keely Tenney. Dragons set up in the half court. Van Nett dribbles to the left side. 1:30 to go in the half. Mapasua, left wing extended, gets the ball knocked out of her hands. It'll stay with Hutchinson, 16 to shoot. Tia Bradshaw is going to check in for the Blue Dragons. Fama Geh in for Murray State, as well as, Kez Reeves and Madeline Giuseppe. Dragons with 16 to shoot on the possession. Brett will inbounds on the far sideline into the hands of Tia Bradshaw. Whistle away from the ball. It's going to be an offensive foul called against Keely Tinney on an illegal screen. Tinney's first foul, just a third of the quarter for the Dragons. Turnover-wise, that is turnover number 9 for Hutchinson. Aggies look to cut into an 18-point deficit here. Madison Giuseppe spins in the lane. Her shot no good, but she will shoot a pair. Tia Bradshaw whistle for the foul, her first. Team's 4th of the quarter. Murray State, their first option, dribble penetrate. We have a couple of special listeners coming back from the depths of southeastern Kansas. Blue Dragon Athletic Director Josh Goosh and Marketing Director Denny Steckline listening on the way back. Second free throw, no good. Kelsey Brett pushes it forward. Just over a minute to play. Brett picks up her dribble. Now ball worked around left corner. Vanette tries a three-pointer. Got it! Her 4th of the year, 2nd of the game. Makes it 44-24, the Dragons' largest lead. Into the corner is Nascimento. She tries a contested three. Keely Tinney the rebound. Now Vanette with 38 seconds to go. Dragons in the half court, up 20, looking to extend it. Johnson, top of the key, waits, gets it back out to Vanette. 15 to shoot. Brett comes out to get it, worked left side to Tinney. Tinney waits, looks, a backdoor cut, knocked out of bounds, last touched by Madison Giuseppe of the Aggies. Dragons will have 8 to shoot. Good teaching moment here, up 20, and inbound with a short shot clock. Right underneath the Vanette, she scores on a feed from Milan Schimmel, 46-24. Vanette now with 13. Drive in the lane, up and under move. Contested shot goes in. Again, those numbers are hard to read, but that's Aaliyah Ensley. She has 12, or 11, excuse me. And the shot at the buzzer by Schimmel, no good. And we are at halftime. A very strong second quarter by the Blue Dragons, and they've built a 20-point lead over Murray State here in Great Bend, 46-26. We'll take a couple of minute break and get you the halftime stats. This is Blue Dragon women's basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Your point of view all over Facebook and Twitter, or demonizing it, and you wonder how. To you, this is aberrant behavior. It is not the kind of behavior you want your kids or anybody else to be inspired by, and you don't see anybody condemning it. You see it being supported, you see it being promoted, and you don't get it. And I'm telling you, you are not alone. There are millions asking. You go vote. You vote, and on election night, you find out your candidate won. 4 days later, you find out, he may not. You wonder, why isn't your side doing anything to protect what happened? Why is it only the left that seems to be out there making a valid case that they got jobbed? when they didn't. Am I close here in describing how you're looking and seeing all this?
Yes, absolutely. I'm just also wondering, if this continues and it gets worse, which more than likely it will, is this an ingredient for President Trump to consider martial law?
No, I don't think. No,
No.
Well, I wouldn't have the slightest idea other than to rely on common sense. I don't see that happening. I don't see that the way to deal with it either.
Okay. Well, I will make one quick point and then I'll let you go. You know, I grew up in western Pennsylvania, a little steel town called Midland, and we were just a very democratic, state, and I was raised to believe that as well, and it wasn't until I became a Christian and realized what our government was put in place for based on what the Bible says. And that's when a lot of times, and I have Democratic friends, and I've been harassed by them, and I have said to them, as long as the Republicans remain conservative, I will always vote Republican, because I believe that there's just morality in conservatism.
Well, that's it. That's it. They don't want any part of your morality. The minute they find out you're a Christian, you may as well be Satan to them. You are Satan if you're a Christian. You're a white woman and you're Christian, you're a lost cause and you're a problem. And if you're conservative on top of that, whoa, you don't have a prayer, because the founders were judged to be Christian and religious. Go look at George Washington's Thanksgiving proclamations and his thankfulness for the country and so forth and his role in it. There's no question about his belief in God. And this rubs them raw, too. I mean, everything about the founding of this country, they despise for whatever cockamamie reasons. I don't even want to, they feel left out, or they feel abnormal, or what have you. But I think the simplest way to understand this, Becky, I think a bunch of people with a series of psychological disorders have become the base of the Democrat Party. And their psychological disorders have now been folded into American politics, and their psychological disorders have become issues that they need to win and that we oppose, and that makes us their enemy and so forth. And I think one of the problems we have is we're being told these are legitimate issues, like 2,000 transgenders are confused about which bathroom to use. This is a problem we must solve, and so forth. And so that becomes a national issue with 0.1% of the population defining. And people like you are sitting around, what the hell is happening here? This is absurd. This is nuts. But all of this.
So, evidently. We're getting a VW signal on ours. Let's do this. Yeah. Change it now, yes. It's gone now? Okay. I'll come back and get it right after. Were you getting me at all? No, I was thinking about it. It was BW. It was a radio station, so. Welcome back to Great Bend, everybody. Steve Carpenter with you. 46-26 the score. Let's get to the halftime stats. Hutchinson led 22-15 after the first quarter, then outscored the Blue Dragons 24-11. Hutchinson 50% from the field, 17 for 34. Murray State held to 23.1%, 6 for 26. Dragons 3 of 8 from three-point range, 9 of 14 from the foul line. Murray State 1 of 4 from three-point range, and were 13 of 18 from the stripe. But most of those came in the first quarter. Dragons with 27-15 rebounding advantage, 9 of those offensive rebounds. Dragons with 9 turnovers. Murray State with 12. Individually, Michaela Van Nett, 5 for 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the three-point line, 13 points to lead all scorers. 11 points for Dejanay Roebuck. 6 points for Ty Kimbrough, who came off the bench to spell Jada Mickens, who was in early foul trouble. 4 points for Keely Tinney, 3 for Tia Bradshaw and Abby Ogle, 2 each for Milan Schimmel, Kelsey Brett, and Michaela Johnson. The Dragons 17 of 34 for 46 points here in the opening half. Aaliyah Ensley has 10 points to lead Murray State. The team's leading scorer, Tony Green, held to just 1 point. She averages 17 for the season. 7 points for Maddie Giuseppe. And then it drops way down. Or excuse me, Hannah Wade with 7, Maddie Giuseppe with 4, and Haley Belvin with 2. Again, Murray State just 6 of 26 from the field. We're going to take another quick break, and when we return, we'll have Steve Kappeman, Blue Dragon Assistant Athletic Director, on, and this is Blue Dragon Basketball. Welcome back to the House on the Hill. Steve Carpenter with you here on the Blue Dragon Sports Network, and I am joined by Hutchinson Community College Assistant Athletic Director Steve Kappeman. And just remember, Cap, we know our boss is listening in because he's texted, so
that's right.
We need to keep it clean. But good first half. A little bit of a slow start offensively, but the Lady Dragons got it cooking.
It was an exciting half. I really liked how we got out and ran there towards the end of the half. I think we really took advantage there. And I really think we have a huge size advantage with Ty Kimbrough, Deschanay, Michaela, and Jada. So it's nice to have those 4 bigs, especially with Jada getting in foul trouble.
Yeah, you talk about last year when either Jada or Dejanay got in foul trouble. That was big-time trouble for the Blue Dragons to have that kind of depth created. And but that was something that the coaching staff really kind of concentrated on during recruiting, not only getting top-line talent, but creating the depth it needs to make this a very memorable season.
I mean, for me, it's just been nice to see Ty Kimbrough out there. I mean, we had her here 2 years ago, so we've done a lot of paperwork, and it's starting to pay off. And it was nice to see her have 6 points, and Deschanay had a solid half, too, hitting some outside shots, so that was nice to see.
Well, obviously, the men play here a little bit later against Spring Creek, and then both teams back here tomorrow. 2 pretty good games. The women take on number 20 NEO, and the guys take on Redlands, Steve X, old haunt down in El Reno. But we got a lot of stuff going on, not only in Hutch, but in Garden City as well. And let's talk about football first at Gowan Stadium tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be checking in on Twitter to see how the basketball teams are doing tomorrow. We'll be at Gowan Stadium tomorrow. We play Iowa Central at noon for a big-time kickoff. So, dress warm. It's going to be a little chilly at Gowan's, but we will have the hot chocolate going in the concession stand. So come on out and watch. I think it should be some good football.
And then tomorrow, what promises to be a very competitive afternoon of running in late morning, early afternoon in Garden City, but the National Cross Country Championships and both Blue Dragon teams having exceptional seasons.
I think it should be pretty exciting. We saw Justin yesterday. They seem ready to go. They had a lot of depth. I think, everyone's proud of Justin and the athletic department. He's worked so hard and starting to pay off. And some kids that I think he didn't think would put in the good as times they are. The Kenyans have kind of motivated everybody to maybe run harder and put in better times.
Yeah, we'll have a feature story up on a couple of the runners later tonight as a preview to the national cross country. But then, it's going to be weird. Normally, Blue Dragon basketball never leaves the arena in the month of November, and we're gone for 2 weeks. We're not back until November 20th.
Yeah, it's going to be a little different. I know when I first started, we maybe had 6 weekends in a row, so I kind of like the mix. It's good to see our teams be challenged on the road and really kind of get comfortable with the whole travel setup. Everything from, team meal to, how to just ride the bus and do things like that. It just gets you ready, I think, for later in the season when you're making the trip to Liberal and Garden City and Goodland. So
Goodland.
I think this will be good. I think the girls just came back out too for the second half. They look ready to go.
All right, Cap, we appreciate it, and we will probably talk to you down the road. That was Steve Kappeman, Assistant Athletic Director at Hutchinson Community College, and we appreciate your time, Cap.
Thanks for having me.
We will have another 90-second break and be back with the second half. Dragons lead 46-26 from Great Bend. This is Blue Dragon basketball. Getting set for the second half here in Great Bend. Steve Carpenter with you. Hutchinson, number 13 in the country, leading 46-26. And then will be the same starting lineup that John Ott just rolled out for the start of the game. Abby Ogle, Milan Schimmel, Dejanay Roebuck, Michaela Vanette, and Jada Mickens. Vanette, 5 for 5 from the field, 13 points. Nene Roebuck, 11 points to lead the Blue Dragons. Aggies get first possession here, and we're underway. Backdoor cut, just like the first half. The second half starts with a backdoor cut and then a bucket to Madison Giuseppe. She has 13. Or check that, 11, and the Dragons lead at 46-28. Schimmel, left side extended now between the circles, Abby Ogle. Abby takes it with the dribble to the right side, goes into the high post. Mickens looks at the backdoor cut, turnaround jumper. Jada Mickens good from 17. She's got her first 2 points of the game, and the Dragons up again by 20. Not very often in her career, Jada's been shut out in an entire half. There's a drive to the lane by Ensley. Tries to go up and under on Schimmel. Kicked out top. Three-pointer on the way by Giuseppe. Front iron, but it rattles home. Check that. Yeah, that was Giuseppe. So she has 8 now. 48-31. Offensive foul called on Roebuck as she was trying to back down Aaliyah Ensley. And that will be turnover number 10 on the Blue Dragons. 48-31. Skip pass left side over to Wade. Tries to drive, cut off by Ogle. Now double teamed with Mickens. Gath throws it out top. Ball worked in the corner. Three-pointer. Spins in. That's 2 3-pointers in the half. There's Tony Green. And lead very quickly down to 14, 48-34. 8-2 run now for the Aggies. Here's Mickens to the hoop. Shot over Famagea, and it goes in. Jada with 4, 50-34. Gah out top, skip past left side to Giuseppe. Her drive between a double team, and she traveled. Turnover number 13 for the Aggies. Dragons forced 35 against the Bethany JV 8 days ago. Obviously, level of competition's come up a couple of notches in the last 8 days. Now the Dragons look to extend a 16-point lead. Van Nett off the screen of Jada Mickens. Her left-handed shot too strong, and Famagea the rebound. Here's Ensley taking it off to Wade right side. Her shot is blocked, but a foul called. Will they get Jada? And they will. It's kind of hard to get her across the arms when both arms are straight up. I don't know if he's Abby Ogle's shot block, but Jada picks up her third foul. And the free throw way off the mark by Hannah Wade, who had 7 points in the opening quarter. Good. So 1 of 2 for Wade. She has 8, and the Dragons lead at 50-35. Schimmel hands it off to Michaela Van Nett. Dragons work the half court. Right side now to Roebuck. Nene drives the baseline, skip past left side. Schimmel tries a 3. Left-hander on the way. Shot no good. Offensive rebound, Mickens, and she'll finish up and under Famagea. 6 points in the quarter for Mickens after being shut out in the first half. Dragons lead 52-35 with a little more than 7 minutes to play third quarter. Three-pointer by Green. This time no good. Milan Schimmel clears the defensive board. Dragons try to throw it inside to Nene Roebuck. It's taken away. Down the floor quickly is Tony Green, and the Blue Dragons will reach in and foul her. Abby Ogle picks up the foul, her second. Team's third of the quarter. Murray State yet to commit a foul in this third stanza. Aggies inbounds baseline left side. Off the inbound shot, no good. Giuseppe had a left-handed shot, but she was fading away and couldn't finish. The Dragons clear the board. Now top with it is Roebuck. High-low down to Mickens. She powers up and scores. 8 points in the quarter by Mickens. And the Dragons get the lead back up to 19 at 54-35. All the way down, shot no good, but a foul called on Milan Schimmel. That'll be her second. And Aaliyah Ensley, whose first move has primarily been dribble penetration when she gets the ball up the floor. Goes to the line, free throw no good. Ensley was 3 for 3 in the opening half from the line. Second one, good. She has 11. Check that, 12. And the Dragon lead 18, 54-36. Nene Roebuck with a backdoor cut to Ogle, but a foul away from the ball. Tom Goldsmith calls Bailey Bierce with the foul, her first. Now Schimmel inbound baseline left side into Roebuck. She drives, kicks out to Van Nett. Out between the circles now Abby Ogle. Ogle surveys, being close or loosely guarded by Bierce. Roebuck comes out, now goes to the right side with the dribble. Backdoor cut, Mickens, and she's fouled, a blocking foul called on the Aggies. And that foul will be against Aaliyah Ensley, who picks up her second. Second foul of the quarter on the Aggies. 5:57 to play. Dragons get a new shot clock. Schimmel looks to trigger it in. Baseline left side out top to Vanette. Michaela 13 points in the first quarter. Yet to score here in the second. Schimmel holds it. Drives off a screen. Right back to Mickens, who tries a three-pointer. That one too strong. Offensive rebound. Nene Roebuck. Turnaround jumper high off the glass. Can't get it to finish. Here's Mickens, who can't score. And a foul called on the rebound on Abby Ogle. It'll be her third. And the fifth team foul on the Dragons. So, much like the first quarter, the Aggies are going to have better than 5 minutes to shoot free throws on every Hutchinson foul. Remember, once you get to 5, it's double bonus for the remainder of the quarter. Lee Ensley, 12 points, and first free throw no good. She started off 3 for 3 and has missed 2 of her last 3 since. Second free throw. That one too strong. Michaela Vanette the rebound. Dragons look to push. Here's Schimmel. She'll slow up. Out top to Mickens. Now skip past left side to Ogle. Ogle waits. Looks to go inside to Mickens, but brings it back out. Dragons bring it around the right side to Schimmel. Now a cutting roll back to the hoop and a score on a feed from Milan Schimmel. And the Dragons back to the 20-point lead at 56-36. 22 points, or excuse me, 13 points for Nene Roebuck. Here's Beers in the corner, dribbles out top to Giuseppe. One dribble, hands it back off to Beers. Goes against Jada Mickens. Shot may have been deflected. Offensive rebound, Giuseppe, and she scores. Giuseppe now with 10. 7 here in the half. In the second half, excuse me. Top of the key is Jada Mickens. Squares up, takes it to the lane, double team, kicked out to Ogle. Abby with the lane, dump underneath, and if Jada can't finish, gets her offensive rebound, can't finish again, goes back up, can't finish a third time, and somehow the Aggies come away with it. Golden opportunity for the Dragons, and they can't finish. Beers had a wide open look at the three, but couldn't handle the pass. Now here's a drive into the lane, spin move, and a foul. Leah Ensley with more dribble penetration, causing problems for the Dragons. And that will be the fourth foul on Abby Ogle. So Ensley hits the first. 56-39. Dragons still shooting 51%, 19 of 37. Murray State has climbed over 30% at 31, 9 of 29. Now 14 of 19 from the line are the Aggies. One more coming to Aaliyah Ensley. And she hits both. Ensley now with 14 points, and the Dragons' 20-point lead back down to 16, 56-40. Here's Vanette to the lane, and Famagea blocks the shot but fouls her. Actually, Michaela kind of wincing like she may have either caught an elbow or maybe the ball in her face, but Michaela Vanette, the freshman from St. Paul, Minnesota, will get a pair at the 4:04 mark. Really her first true opportunity to score here in the second half. Free throw good. Yeah. Second free throw by Michaela. This one too strong. Ball knocked into the corner and is chased down by the Dragons. Keely Tenney throws it back toward the middle, but last touched by the Aggies, and it'll stay with Hutchinson. So Keely gets a break. She got double teamed into the corner. Tried to throw it into a Blue Dragon underneath. Pass was too high, but last touch by the Aggies, 25 to shoot. Tia Bradshaw between the circles, and now a whistle away from the ball. Illegal screen call on Keely Tinney. Tinney picked up her second. That is now 12 turnovers on Hutchinson. Green tries to go underneath to Gea, and the Dragons come away with it. Ty Kimbrough picks it up, gives it off to Van Nett, who weaves her way up the court. Now get to Brett. Kelsey drives to the baseline. Wraparound pass out to Bradshaw. Bradshaw, the lane dumped underneath to Ty Kimbrough. And a foul call on Murray State's Tony Green, her third. Green with 3 points. She averages 17, so the Dragons doing a nice job on her. Tia Bradshaw inbounds it to Van Nett. Step back three-pointers way short. Just didn't look clean when it left her hand. Now the Aggies attack. Green hands it off to Bierce, or Wade. He goes behind the back and scores with the left hand. 10 points for Wade, 57-42. This is the Dragons have had its biggest 20-point lead. Has been trimmed to 15 a couple times. Here's Ty Kimbrough to the hoop and scores over Fama Gah. 8 points for Ty, who had big minutes in the first half when Jaden Mickens picked up 2 quick fouls. 59-42, 2:48 to go. Whistle, a foul on the floor called on Tia Bradshaw. It'll be free throws for the Aggies. Haley Belvin gets the free throws, and the first one is good. She's 1 of 2 in the first half. Hits the first one here, 59-43. Second free throw, also good. 59-44. 2:45 and counting. Dragons not in trouble yet, but they're not exactly pulling away. Tinney tries a three-pointer top of the key front iron, no good. Another offensive rebound by Brett. Here's Bradshaw, three-pointer. This 1-2 strong, and clearing the board is Hannah Wade for the Aggies. Attacking is the Aggies. Here's a shot up, no good, but a foul called on Hutchinson. And back to the line goes Murray State. Tia Bradshaw picks up her third, so the fouls are starting to mount. Tony Green misses the first free throw. Warren Mapasua replaces Tia Bradshaw. Also, Nene Roebuck will give Keely Tinney a break. We'll set the lineup for you for Hutchinson here momentarily. Second free throw, good by Green. 59-45, 2:19 to play. Michaela Van Ed into the forecourt. Mapasua, ball worked around left side. Here's a drive by Brett all the way to the hoop, and Kelsey scores. Kelsey recognized the open lane. She finishes with the left hand, 61-45. Hutch, 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Kez Reeves taking Michaela Manette to the hoop. Shot off the left hand, no good. Long rebound out to the Dragons. Here's Roebuck to the hoop. She scores on the feed from Kelsey Brett. 4 in a row for Hutch, 63-45. 15 for Dene Roebuck. Haley Belvin cut off. Thrown out top now to Bierce, or to Wade, excuse me. Up and under move, shot no good, but a travel call. And that was actually on Kez Reeves. So Murray State will switch the lineup quite a bit, send 3 new players in. So the lineup for Hutchinson, Lauren Mapasua, Nene Roebuck, Kelsey Brett, Ty Kimbrough, and Michaela Van Nett. Ball worked right, left side, extended to Roebuck. Now around right side to Mapasua. Lauren looks. Van Nett pops out. Hesitates, drives, tries to throw it underneath and throws it away. Pass intercepted by Andres Nascimento. Not a clean game by any stretch of the imagination, but the Dragons have also been off 8 days. Here's Wade taking it in, goes all the way to the lane, goes to the right side. She goes up and scores, but they wave off the basket, saying the foul came before the shot. Kelsey Brett commits her first foul. I mentioned in the pregame that former Nebraska guard Jasmine Sincor was an assistant coach with Murray State. First free throw by Kez Reeves, no good. She was a big dribble penetrator in her time with the Huskers. And you see a lot of her influence on this team. This is her first year as an assistant coach in Tishomingo. Second free throw, good by Wade. 63-46, we're under a minute to go, third quarter. Kelsey Brett with the left side extended and a foul away from the ball. And it'll be free throws for the Dragons as Aaliyah Ensley is whistled for her third. And Lauren Mapasua will have the free throws. Lauren looking for her first points of the afternoon. Freshman from Queensland, Australia. Lauren's first free throw short. Dragons now 9 of 15 from the line. Second free throw. This one good. 1 of 2 from Mapasua. 64-46, 50 seconds to go, or 50 seconds to go, third quarter. Aggies with it. Behind the back dribble is Wade. Into the hoop, left-handed scoop shot, no good. She gets her own rebound, puts up another one and scores. 64-48, Wade with 13. Mapasua, 3-second shot clock and game clock difference. Ty Kimbrough on the high post, out to Roebuck. Now between the circles, Brett. Ball worked around left side, Mapasua. Mapasua kicks it out. Here's Sarah Kramer, wide open look at a three, shot too strong. Long rebound out to Reeves. He looks around with 8 seconds to go. She slows it up into the hands of Ensley. Left hand spin move, up and under, shot no good. Ty Kimbrough loses control. The ball goes out of bounds, but there's the third quarter buzzer. And Hutchinson will take a 64-48 lead into the fourth quarter over Murray State. We'll be back in 1 minute with the fourth quarter. This is Blue Dragon basketball. Dragons still shooting 50%, now 25 out of 50 for the game. 3 out of 12 from three-point range, 11 of 18 from the free throw line. They own a 32-21 rebounding advantage over Murray State. Murray State shooting 34.3%. They went 6 out of 9 in the third quarter, as actually Murray State outscores Hutch 22-18. Hutch led by 20 entering the fourth quarter, or entering the third quarter. Now 16, 64-48. Dragons will have the ball to start the fourth quarter. Lauren Mapasua, Nene Roebuck, Ty Kimbrough, Sarah Kramer, and Kelsey Brett, the 5 on the floor for John Onches as we begin the final quarter of play here from Great Bend on day number 1 of the Cougar Booster Classic. Pass deflected right back into the hands of Nene Roebuck. Dragons get it out. Now worked around to the right corner. Ty Kimbrough, her pass underneath, deflected. But then a foul and a reaching called on Fama Gea. The Dragons were in trouble and really never had possession of the ball for about the last 10 seconds of that possession. Fama picks up her 4th. And she is quickly replaced. Mapasua will inbounds baseline left side into the corner to Roebuck. Now out top to Kramer. Brett comes around to get it. Dragons work it around the horn to Mapasua left side. Kramer with a couple of dribbles, takes it to the right side. Still looking to go inside, reverses back out. Brett comes out to help her. Now Mapasua left side to Nene Roebuck. Nene puts it on the floor, kicks it out to the corner to Kramer, who drives back out to Roebuck. 15-footer on the way, good. Nene was 17 and the Dragons lead 66-48. 6 points here in the second half for Hutch, or for Roebuck. Wade dribbles out of the trouble. Looks to go back door, and the pass intercepted by Sarah Kramer. Turned over number 15 of the Eagles. Sarah, three-pointer on the way, no good. And going out to get the rebound is Madeline Giuseppe. She speeds up the floor, kicks it out to the corner. And as Kez Reeves with it, she drives. Shot blocked by Mapasua. Here come the Dragons. 3-on-1 underneath to Roebuck. Left-handed finish. She scores. She's fouled and it counts. Nice steal and then assist from Lauren Mapasua. Nene now with 19. Foul whistled against Andres Nascimento. Her 3rd. Milan Schimmel will replace Kelsey Brett, and a chance at an and 1 for Nene Roebuck. Season high 19 for Nene, chance to become the first Dragon this year to reach 20. Albeit this being the second game. And she does. Free throw good, 3 of 4 from the stripe for Nene, 69-48. Hutchinson now has its largest lead of the game. Coming up after this one, Rusty Hills will join me as the Blue Dragon men take on Spring Creek Academy from here in Great Bend. Pass intercepted by Milan Schimmel. Schimmel looks up the floor. Wants to go inside. Now the Dragons set up in the half court. Here's Kramer. Free throw line extended left side. Backdoor cut. Mapasua all the way to the hoop. She can't finish. And Jada Mickens gets the offensive rebound and gets fouled on the way up. And Wade her 2nd foul. And after being shut out in the first half, Jada Mickens 8 points in the 3rd quarter. Chance at a couple here. First free throw. It's a lot of iron before falling through. She has 9. 70-48. Dragons up by 22. One more for Mickens, the sophomore from Liberal, Kansas. That one no good. And the Aggies clear the board. Pushed ahead to Reeves. Takes it into the lane. She goes up and scores, and she's fouled. It'll count. Jada Mickens commits the foul, her 4th. And an and 1 opportunity. Shot no good by Reeves. She has 4. Here come the Dragons. Lauren Mapasua underneath to Mickens. High pass brought down, and Jada finishes. She has 11, and it's 72-50. 7:35 to go in the game. Here's a drive to the left hand and a foul called. And there's not a whole lot of offensive sets to the Murray State game. It's take it to the hoop and try to get fouled. Milan Schimmel whistled for her 3rd. And it'll be 2 free throws for Haley Belvin, who's 3 for 4. Make that 4 for 5. That free throw is good. Murray State now 23 of 31 from the foul line. 23 of their 52 points from the stripe. Drive to the hoop. Schimmel, she gets her own rebound. Follow-up shot short. And away come the Aggies. Here's Tony Green pushing it up against Sarah Kramer, who cuts it off. Now a pull-up jumper by Belvin, way short. Rebound knocked into the hands of Sarah Kramer. Pushes it ahead to Schimmel. Now to a cutting Nene Roebuck, who finishes on the transition. And the Dragons lead at 74-52. Roebuck with 22, and now she's back on the other end defensively, stealing or intercepting a pass. Underneath, Schimmel can't handle the long pass from Kramer. Turnover Hutchinson. Turnover number 13 for the Dragons. Murray State's committed 14. (74-52), 22-point lead, the largest of the game. Murray State's gotten the 20-point halftime lead down to 15 three different times. Giuseppe lines up a three and knocks it down. Her second of the game. She's had a big second half with 10. She has 14 for the game. 74-55. Hesitation move by Mapasua to the hoop. She scores. She's fouled and it counts. Lauren just kind of had a little head and shoulders shimmy right at the top of the key. Took it strong with the right hand and scored. The foul will go against Haley Belvin, her first. Lauren with 3 and make it 4. And Hutchinson's lead back to 22 at 72-55. Dragons don't get back defensively. Wide open look at the three by Bierce, no good. Long rebound out to Schimmel. She pushes, spins into the lane. Layup good. And she's fouled and it counts. Schimmel with 4 now. And the foul goes against Green, her 4th. Schimmel's free throw no good though. 79-55, 6 minutes to play. Haley Belvin with the left-hand skip pass down into the right corner, drive by Bierce. She's got a wraparound pass out to Lindsey Smith, who hits a 3. 79-58. Smith's first points of the game coming on a tray. Dragons work it. Nene Roebuck dribbles back out top, looks for cutters, pulls up from the free throw line, rattles out no good. Jada Mickens the rebound and the putback. Huge second half for Mickens now, 13 points, 81-58. And then the Aggies turn it over, stepping on the end line on a long pass. Kelly Tinney will come in for Nene Roebuck, who leaves the game with 22 game-high points. Big hand from the Dragon faithful. There's a lot of Dragons fans here this afternoon. As there usually is. Dragons travel very well. Coming up on the 5-minute mark. Here's Mickens driving with the line, spins in the lane, turnaround jumper. May have been deflected. And the Aggies look to run. Getting ahead of the defense is Giuseppe, but the pass too long from Kez Reeves. Turnover number 17 to the Aggies. Under 5 to go. Bucket here will give Hutchinson his largest lead of the game. Mickens between the circles. Waiting for Schimmel to come out to get it. Now off a screen is Sarah Kramer. She takes another one, and Jada Mickens is just fouled out of the game on an illegal screen. So Jada picks up her 5th at the 4:44 mark. John Onchus is going to have a chat with one of the officials, and he's going to take he has a wry smile on his face. And John is milking this for all it's worth. Very calm, nothing big going on here in terms of possibly getting teed up. Not going to happen. Jada Mickens goes down and shakes the Murray State coach's hands before departing. Ty Kimbrough will replace her. Fama Geh, the former Blue Dragon and current Aggie, back into the game. She has 4, has yet to score. 4:44 to go here in this final quarter. Again, I'll be joining Rusty Hills, who will call the men's game, Hutchinson and Spring Creek. There's a floater in the lane by Tony Green. She has 6, 81-60 the lead. Keely Tenney being pressured, picks up her dribble, a little bit of trouble. Ty Kimbrough comes out as a release. Now Tenney goes backdoor. She powers up and scores on a feed from Ty Kimbrough. And John Onchus will take a timeout and call a 30 with 4:16 to go. We'll take a quick break. 83-60 Blue Dragons. .416 to play in this one. 83-60 Hutchinson. Slow offensive start, but they built a 22-15 lead after one and had a 20-point lead at halftime, 46-26. Outscored by 4 in the third, but they reasserted themselves. The closest Murray State's gotten is 15 three different occasions. Step back three-pointer by Green, knocks it down. Now you're starting to see her scoring ability a little bit. She averages 17 per game. She has 9 now in the step back three. Did lead at 20 for Hutch, 83-63. Keely Tenney drives the right line, gets into a bit of a trouble, but releases out to Milan Schimmel. Now ball worked around. Three-pointer by Tenney is blocked, and here come the Aggies, a chance to cut it under 20. Green in the lane, throws up a left-hand wild shot, no good. Schimmel the rebound, kicked ahead to Sarah Kramer. Sarah 1-on-2 will back it out with 3.5 to play. Ty Kimbrough now underneath the Tenney. She powers up and scores on a feed from Ty Kimbrough. 8 points for Keely, and it's 85-63. In the lane, shot no good by Bierce. Out of bounds, last touch by the Aggies. It'll be Hutchinson ball. 190 seconds precisely to be played. Hutchinson's going to move to 2-0 heading into their nationally ranked matchup tomorrow with number 20 NEO. Anytime those two teams get after it, it's usually pretty entertaining. 3 years ago at the Sports Arena, NEO had a 16-point lead, and the Dragons came back to win by 4 points, 65-61. Underneath the Tenney against the double team, back out to Kramer, now out top to Mapasua. Looks at a three, drives, kicks it underneath. Tenney's shot no good. Good offensive set. This didn't finish. Good ball movement. Up the floor quickly is Nascimento. She gets cut off by Mapasua. Now out deep between the circles is Giuseppe, working one-on-one against Sarah Kramer, and she traveled with it. Sarah wouldn't give her ground, wouldn't give her the opening to make the spin move, and she commits the turnover. Number 20 on the game for the Aggies. Glenn Grunwald will return to the call tomorrow, 12:50 pregame on the air, or 1 p.m. tip-off here from Great Bend. Bounce pass into the corner. Mapasua tries a three, shot no good. And Lindsey Smith the rebound. Down the sideline against close. Now Schimmel takes it away momentarily. Ball loose. Tenney comes up with it. Turnover number 21 Aggies. Milan Schimmel into the lane to the right hand. She gets her shot swatted by Fama Geh. 1:55 to go. Lauren Mapasua inbounds baseline right side. 25 to shoot, 1:55 on the clock. Out top to Kramer. And she gets it right back. Three-pointer, good, Sarah Kramer. 88-63. Good to see Sarah get one clean. Nothing but net her first points of the game. She had 52 three-pointers as a freshman. In the lane is Belvin, kicked outside, and the entry pass inside to Guess, kicked out of bounds by Milan Schimmel. 16 to shoot for the Aggies. 90 seconds to go in this one. We'll have a quick wrap-up, and then we'll get set up for the guys' game. That'll be on BW Radio, AM and FM 1450 and 98.5. If you want to listen to it over the air, it'll be right here on the network. Running left-hander shot no good by Kez Reeves. Now Schimmel turns it right back over. A little floater in the lane is good by Haley Belvin. She has 7. 88-65. Coming up on a minute to play in this one. Kramer out top. Now left side to Keely Tenney. Right back to Sarah. Looked at a 3, now drives. Kicks it to a wide open look for Milan Schimmel. She can't get the shot to fall. A little bit strong. 45 seconds to go. The Dragons will go to 2-0. Pass underneath. Turnaround shot. May have been blocked by Schimmel. Brought down by the Aggies with 19 to shoot. Into the lane is Belvin. Takes a shot. Another shot blocked by Ty Kimbrough. Mapasua underneath. That shot's blocked. We've got a block party going on in the last minute of this one. 4 blocks between the two teams. And a travel called on the other end, and Haley Belvin knew it. Turnover number 23 for the Aggies. 19.4 seconds to go. Get you a quick break at the conclusion of this one. Get the totals, and then we'll get set for Blue Dragon men's basketball from Great Bend. Spring Creek Academy. Shot clock is dark. And that's going to do it. So Hutchinson moves to 2-0 on this young season. Murray State falls to 1-2. A lot of good things to talk about for John Onches, but a lot of things to work on. Your final score, Hutchinson 88, Murray State 65. We'll take a quick break, back with the final stats, and wrap it up right after this break. Welcome back to Great Bend. Steve Carpenter with you. Hutchinson women defeat Murray State 88-65. And real quickly, here are the totals. For the game, Hutchinson shoots 35 of 68. That's 51.5%. 5 of 18 from three-point range. And 13 of 23 from the foul line. Murray State shoots 38.3%, 18 of 47. 6 of 9 from three-point range. 23 of 32 from the foul line. So the Dragons were minus 10 on the foul line. The plus 18 rebounding, 41-29. Hutchinson with officially 15 turnovers. Murray State with 21. Real quickly to wrap up the scoring, Nene Roebuck, a big game for her. 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 3 steals. 16 points for Michaela Van Ett. She had 13 of those in the opening half. She knocked down 2 of 2 from three-point range. 10 points for Jada Mickens, all coming in the second half. 8 points for Ty Kimbrough, 8 points for Keely Tenney. Then 6 from Lauren Mapasua, 5 for Milan Schimmel. 4 points for Abby Ogle, 3 for Sarah Kramer, and 2 each for Kelsey Brett, Tia Bradshaw, and Michaela Johnson. Again, the Dragons 35 of 68, 51.5%. 4 players in double figures for Murray State. 13 points each for Aaliyah Ensley and Hannah Wade. 12 points each for Maddie Giuseppe and Tony Green. She was held to 1 point for for all the first half and into the third quarter. So the Dragons get the job done. They defeat Murray State 88-65. We'll be back in action tomorrow, 1 p.m. here from Great Bend against number 20 NEO. That's going to do it. Hang around. You have to change the links or get on BW Radio as Blue Dragon men get set to take on the Spring Creek Academy Spartans from the Booster Club Classic here in Great Bend. Steve Carpenter saying so long for now. We'll talk to you in about 20 minutes.